Mo-Kan Dragway fans, it's time for the Labor Day Classic, and that can only mean one thing. The funny cars are back in town. Join us at Smokin' Mo-Kan Dragway Friday night and Saturday, September 2nd and 3rd for Funny Car Chaos. 200-mile-per-hour ground pounders and a battle for $35,000. Plus tire-blazing gassers and more. Kids 12 and under are free, so you know what to do. Be there. Come on! Visit MoKanDragway.com for more info. This event presented by the Little Brick Inn of Baxter Springs, Spell Paving Services, Wulff Pumps, Fat Tires Apparel, and the Red Line Shirt Club.
Good evening, Chaos Nation. Monday Morning Racer here, Lee Craft, and right next to me, David Rattan, the voice of Chaos, for another episode of Chaos Live. David, as we kind of spoke before coming live, it's reversed. I'm in studio and you're on the road. What's up, man?
That's right. I'm traveling. I have been down every back road in Arkansas. Well, probably not every back road in Arkansas because there's a lot of back roads in Arkansas, but I've found a few of them. And I'm up in Northwest Arkansas, day one of my trip up to Cordova for the World Series of Drag Racing, and got my stop made here in beautiful Bentonville, Arkansas, and making my way towards the World Series. And it's been a nice ride. I'm enjoying seeing the blue skies after we've seen a whole lot of gray skies for the last few weeks. Tell you what, we had about 9+ inches at my house, and we appreciated every drop. We kind of wondered, but it's been so long that, you know, kind of like everybody in Texas, we were very, very thankful to have the rain, and we've got it. But the blue skies are out there, and that's what we're anticipating in Cordova this weekend, and hopefully all across the racing world we'll be having beautiful blue skies and an opportunity to really get out there and enjoy some great racing this weekend.
You are going to definitely be partaking in a stellar weekend. And man, don't be modest. You have got a pivotal role at the World Series. It's not just a pleasure trip, though I know you're going to take pleasure out of it being there, but you're going to be announcing the gig. So that is pretty cool. One of the most prestigious, longest running drag races in history, period, at one of the most prestigious historic venues, period, and you're going to be on the mic once again for really what is their marquee event. That's just cool, dude.
Well, I think so, and I appreciate that. I may get to hang on. Let me. Yeah, I'm in the hotel room. It's ringing. I'm going to mute that for just a second.
All right. Yep, you're good, man. You're good. If you need to take it. It's okay. No. So as we're waiting for David to come back on the mute side of things, look, the World Series is even bigger than the funny cars, but there is a stacked deck when it comes to the funny cars here. And a lot of these individuals are, in fact, Chaos competitors. Some of them have been, and then there's others. I look at this screen and I think to myself, they ought to be Chaos competitors, whether it's Nitro Chaos or Funny Car Chaos. Heck, why not both? So if you are there in the great state of Illinois, Iowa, near Cordova Dragway this weekend, it's the place to be, and you can hear our very own voice of the Chaos, David Rattan, on the mic calling the shots there. So, David, what matchup are you most excited about? Even be like there's a lot going on with funny cars, but there's top fuel dragsters, there's jet cars, there's a ton. Like, what excites you?
There are so many things. The chance to see Richard Hartman in that Summit racing equipment, fuel altered, in a match race with Bruce Litton's top fuel dragster, that's going to be pretty exciting. Actually, he's not match racing Bruce Litton. He's running Chuck Baird in that wild side slingshot. So there's nitro aplenty, nitro galore up there at the World Series. We've got pro mods. The Chicago Wise Guys pro mods are coming in, and they always put on a great show, from what I'm told. So I'm very excited to see them. Kicking off with a couple of the bookends of the Tri-5s, 55 57 Chevys that are little bit gasser, a little bit pro mod, a little bit top sportsman, but really quick, fast hot rods, and looking forward to seeing the Peppermint Twist 55 and the Shake, Rattle, and Run 57. And plus we've got a variety of sportsman categories. Of course, you remember from when we were up there for Funny Car Chaos, they've got the Quick 8 with a lot of very, very fast cars that will be running. But they're going to be running all through the weekend. Showtime Friday night and Saturday night starts at 6 o'clock. But there's, like I said, there's funny cars, there's jets, there's 2 jet dragsters and 3 jet funny cars. So we will be experiencing some more jet action, just like we did when Funny Car Chaos visited Cordova. But really, there's so many great things. Bruce Litton and Krista Baldwin will have their Top Fuel dragsters there, and I saw the graphic there that you showed of the funny cars. 9 different nitro funny cars going to be there. Some of them that we've seen, and most of them that we haven't. There's some, although a lot of them we have seen in another configuration or at another event. But we're going to have a very full weekend. Absolutely would be the place to be if you're anywhere where you can get to Cordova Friday night and Saturday for the World Series of Drag Racing. I'm very thrilled to be asked to announce that race, and looking forward to seeing Dino and Mike on the mic and Uncle Taz up there. We'll all be in the booth doing our part to make this version of the World Series hopefully the best one they've ever had. And it's certainly shaping up to be an extraordinary event up there. So cannot wait to get there and be back to that track. First time I was ever there was when we were there for Funny Car Chaos. And then to have the opportunity to come back again so quickly, I cannot wait. It's absolutely going to be one more great weekend. And I look forward to seeing people. If any of you are there and happen to stroll by and see me, I'd love to spend some time and get acquainted with you and talk with folks if you're there at Cordova Dragway for the World Series.
Well, I have got a rare break that I'm giving myself this weekend, but it doesn't mean that it's a break from Funny Car Chaos content. No, expect several uploads to the YouTube channel, including being up to date on all the behind the chaos that is out there, from the Nitro Chaos at MoKan through our most recent event at Kearney, Nebraska, so I don't have to work on 4 after MoKan coming up here really quickly. So everybody, make sure you subscribe to the Funny Car Chaos YouTube channel. A lot of content will be rolling out. About content tonight, David, good show shaping up. David Hill, first-time winner in Funny Car Chaos action there at Kearney, Nebraska. And then we're going to speak to the man that we will race at his house, Mr. Carl Blanton, coming up here on Labor Day weekend. That is the show that we have for you all tonight. And on that, David, what do you say about going ahead and getting a guest on?
Hey, let's do it. I'm very much looking forward to both of these guests. Both gentlemen are very well spoken, and they are some people that have made names for themselves, or continuing to even grow their brand. And we're very much going to have a terrific visit with these 2 gentlemen tonight. So let's do it.
Folks, after the break, David Hill.
Spell Paving Services provides professional customer service and performance for your next industrial or large-scale private paving project. From parking lots, roads and driveways, to seal coat, chip seal, concrete and asphalt, there's no job too big for the team at Spell Paving Services. Serving a 500-mile radius from Dallas-Fort Worth, Spell Paving Services has you covered. Call 214-384-3056 to get a competitive quote today and tell them the Chaos sent you.
And the winner of the Alkydigger B Field at Kearney, Nebraska, David Heel. Man, I imagine you are still high off of that first-time win in CHAOS competition.
Yeah, I keep making a joke with my wife that I'm an event winner, and I always point to my hat, when I have that hat on. It's pretty unreal for sure.
Yes, I love it. Remember, honey, remember, I am an event winner. Yes. And she's like, yeah, you need to be a trash taker out winner too,
That's totally true.
Well, welcome to the show, David. We are very excited to have you on. And, you're still celebrating it. We're still celebrating it as well. Man, what a weekend that was. You kind of did a impression of Lyle Greenberg there in qualifying with your car becoming a cone hunter there all of a sudden. But things got better for you, and they got better in a hurry as you came away with that trophy. I love the picture of that unique Funny Car Chaos trophy on the injector hat there. And tell us how it was celebrating with your family and with your friends. There was a whole bunch of your group there at Kearney that particular weekend.
Oh man, I guess it really starts from last year, and the troubles that we had, prior to even leaving for Kearney. We had an oiling issue, and we had to tear apart the one side head apart 3 times to get it fixed. But we finally figured it out, got the car loaded, and then on the way out to Kearney, about halfway there, the vehicle that I was using to tow the trailer decided to not perform. So it low powered on me all the way from like Ogallala clear to Kearney. I showed up later than I wanted to, and it was a rough time. It was absolutely hot like it was this year. But my dad put it the best. It's more like a redemption tour this go around. So I still don't know what to say. It's been awesome for sure.
Well, we were looking back to last year and of course excited. We had seen your dad and Doug bring out the Milliken Monster a couple of times before. And then when it turned out that you had a funny car and you were putting it back together to come out for competition, we were all kind of like chomping at the bit to see what might happen. Well, it wasn't your best outing there last year when you came back out, but progressively over time, and to be putting that trophy in your trophy case on your 3rd time out in Funny Car Chaos, that was very impressive. So you wind up qualifying number 1 in the B Field, and you got the comp by run in the first go over Tom Furches, fellow Coloradan, and then Chris Schneider and Dustin Bradford. Those in-car shots were really a blast for us to see, giving everybody the opportunity to ride along with you to victory.
Yeah, that like every single one of those competitors, that I raced that day, I didn't take lightly by any means. I've seen Tom Furches run 4.0s. I've seen Chris Schneider, make some really excellent passes, and I knew he was going to be killer on the tree, which he proved to me. And then, like I've seen Bradford run 390s or whatever. So I know they were all capable of doing exactly what we were doing, if not better. But it would just happen to be my day or our day. So I'm just grateful that it went our way.
Well, you started off with the bad omens on the way to the racetrack, but it certainly turned around in a big, big way. And of course, you've been involved in motorsports for a long, long time. And, sometimes it's your day and sometimes it's, somebody else's day. But you've got a background in other items. I've seen the post motorcycles. And so you've done more than just race funny cars. Tell us about your history in motorsports.
Well, I think the first time that I ever made it to a drag strip would have been like 2 weeks old or something like that. That's what I was told. It could be somewhere around that, a couple weeks to a month or whatever. But been going to the drag races for a long time, and of course, I wasn't old enough to drive a car, and so we also rode motorcycles, just for fun. And since I couldn't drive a car, the next best thing for me to do was start racing dirt bikes and racing motocross and supercross, and had a lot of success doing that for the limited amount of time that I actually raced. I did make it to the local pro ranks, and then I had a kid, and so that kind of took a backseat to racing dirt bikes and stuff. And dad, my dad had been drag racing for a long time, and had been working with a lot of different guys, and he still is doing stuff like that. So I finally got the opportunity to get in the driver's seat, and I started out in a 1970 Barracuda with a 440, and I think ran 14 seconds, quarter miles. But it just so happened that I entered my very first race at Julesburg in the high school class when I was 17 years old, and ended up taking home the victory then. But ever since then, that W has been very lucrative. And then I went from the CUDA. We finally got it to go, I think 1120s or something like that, and then I jumped straight into an alcohol powered dragster, and quickest I went with that was a 790 at 170 miles an hour, and then bumped it up to the current basic motor that we have in our car now, which is a 525 cubic inch Arius motor, and it was a thrill in itself. So that's just kind of how it progressed, I suppose.
Man, that's great. And we're getting an awful lot of comments from people who are congratulating you and celebrating this victory with you. Your dad has got a whole lot of cars that he works on and provides tuning on, and he's quite the engineer with this Arias Fontana Minor Brothers, this power combination that you guys work on. And I really enjoyed talking with him and all of you guys at the end of the race. One of the things about Funny Car Chaos, of course, is you choose your power combination, and we have so many different ways that people opt to get down the track. And the group there, three of you guys with the Arias derivative and making a really good showing there. And so we've got you number 22 in points, and Mike Newkirk running the same power combination, number 15 in points, and you're knocking on that 3-second door already. How does that feel?
Well, I did run a 392 there at Ennis, but yeah, we're right there at 4 seconds. We thought we could get it to go a little quicker. Come to find out that we have a 9,000 RPM chip limiter in the box. So if you notice on one of those runs, I think it was the first round run against Furchess, or would have been against Furchess, it hit the rev limiter and I shut it off. So I definitely could have gone a little faster. We're trying to save on the motor because I'm, not extremely loaded. So I got to do what I can to preserve the motor and do as little as work in between rounds as possible, especially if like Kearney, where Doug was racing too. Dad was helping Doug and getting everything on his end going over there. And so I would just make sure to check the valves and then reset the clutch every run. And my mom and my daughter helped fuel it up. Luckily, Kearney's a pretty long track. You don't have to pull the chutes. And, like I didn't have to repack them every run, but that last run I made sure to pull them and make sure they still worked for me. But no, it's still a group effort. Everybody that was there, a lot of my family was there. Was unfortunate my wife and my youngest daughter couldn't be there, but school happened, so they had to get ready for school and everything like that. And my wife's a school teacher, and yeah, it was a bummer to see that they weren't there with us to celebrate and to win a race, the funny car race with my dad or whatever. That was put it over the top right there.
I would say so. And one of the things that a guy my age looking back is some of the earliest names that I remember in funny car racing, of course, were from Colorado. And of course, I'm referring to John Decker and Roger Guzman and Art Ward. And of course, you had many, many others. Mark Williams had a funny car, and just quite a few others in Top Fuel and other different categories. But in funny car chaos, we've had multiple winners from Colorado, and you added your name to that distinct list. And I've noticed that there is a real sense of camaraderie between the Colorado racers. And but how does it feel to be putting yourself in that rarefied air with those legends of the sport in funny cars?
Oh, it's unbelievable. You know, like I've been doing this for a long time, and this is only my second win. And to do it in a funny car, you know, like I dreamed. My dad had a funny car in the mid 80s. It was a nostalgia style funny car nowadays. I think it was like 120 or 118 inch wheelbase car, suspended front end. You know, and I remember riding because my dad had a bus that he chopped the back end off of it, and he would put the car on the inside of the bus, and I could ride in the car on the way home after the races or whatever. And I remember just wanting, just dreaming of being a funny car driver, and now I get the opportunity, and how sweet it is.
Wow, there's a lesson right there in visualization. We talk about things that you want to have, and so many of our racers have talked about that. Like Kirk Williams talked about it, among others, that he remembers exactly where he was sitting when he decided that's what I want to do, is drive a funny car, be a funny car racer. And so many of you are now living that dream. And we're just absolutely thrilled to be able to provide a venue for you and all the other racers to come out and, you know, have so much fun with us. And we have so much fun watching you guys do what you do. Just you guys seem to have a thing at Las Vegas. You and your dad and several of the people that you race with, and Doug, and going out to Las Vegas to the big show event out there. Is that one of the things that's coming up for you guys in the coming months?
For Doug, it is for sure. I know that I think he told Chris Graves that he's ready to come out for the finals there in Texas, whatever, and then probably head right over to Las Vegas to do some racing. I haven't been there in a while. I usually have to work, so it's kind of unfortunate, but maybe this year we might be able to go. I'm not for sure just yet. So we'll just have to see how it plays out.
Well, I got picked up on a quote from the interview that you did with Lee after the race on Behind the Chaos. Said you learned a lot that you can use at more chaos races. And to me, when I heard somebody talking about more chaos races, and we might get a chance to see you coming out for even more races, then you know, that lights my face up, because I know that we're going to get a chance to see your quality car and your quality team mixing it up with all these other competitors as we're, you know, winding down to the end of this season. And it's not going to be very long before we'll start talking about the 2023 season and people gearing up for whatever their goals and ambitions may happen to be for that year. You've talked about work several times, and what is it that you do professionally?
I work for an automotive repair company here in Severance, Colorado, where I live. It's let's see over here, Trust Auto Center. One of my high school friends started this business back in 2006. We still there?
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Sorry.
Nobody move. But he did. Oh.
No, my phone, my work phone basically is tied into my personal phone or whatever. So it cut you off. But anyways, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we do automotive repair, anything, diesels, European, everything. So I've been working here since December of last year, 21. And yeah, before that I worked in the oil field, so that's how I was pretty much able to afford to get the funny car back up and running. But you know, it is what it is. Oil fields up and down, so I lost my job, and my boss needed an extra hand, so I threw my card on the table and was able to secure a job.
Well, that's seems to be working out very well for you. Now, will we see you at any of these remaining events on the tour, or do we have to wait till next year?
Unfortunately, you're gonna have to wait till next year. I'm planning on Ennis again at the first of the year, but we'll just have to see how it goes. We've already winterized the funny car. There's some body work that needs to be taken care of. I know I didn't hit the cone with the front of the car. It was with the header, but it was definitely close. But when we popped the supercharger belt in Ennis, whatever, it put a pretty big ding in the body, and so that needs to be replaced. And there's some stuff that just needs to be done. And I want to fix the body to what like a current top alcohol funny car is supposed to have, with a quick release, because it's such a pain in the butt to get the body off that car, because it is an old nitro body. It's actually Dean Scooz's old nitro body from 2000. So a thing is super heavy, and if it can make it just a little bit easier to get that thing off and on, with the help that we have, I need to get it done. So.
Well, I see that you've got your new hero cards out, and those look great. And so we anticipate getting the chance to pick up some of those from you at the races, whether that's 2023, or even if you happen to be passing them out at another race or something. But man, we can't tell you how much we are excited for the success that you're having, and for all the excitement that you and your team bring to Funny Car Chaos when you guys come out. So thanks for being with us on the show tonight, and for being a part of Funny Car Chaos. We hope to see you many more times in the future racing the Zeus Funny Car, and we wish you the very best for continued success.
Well, thank you guys, Lee, to you, Dave, to Chris and Tara Grace, and you guys make it a place where I can actually race this car, because bracket racing this funny car is not the easiest thing to do. So we've done it, just like Furchess and Danny Smith, and them guys from Colorado. Even Doug Schneider's done a little bit of fast 16 racing with his funny car. So we're glad we have a place to bring these cars out and just run them all out instead of peddling them at the end of the track.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, David, look, congratulations once again. Before we do let you go, speak about the combination of your funny car. And I mean, I have a inkling of why, but why dub it Zeus?
Well, the car is got lightning on it, and we tried to figure something out, and we thought of Thor, god of lightning and thunder is kind of what I wanted to go with. And since I'm part Asian, I thought about Raiden or Raijin or whatever, but those just didn't cut it really. And Zeus, we stuck on Zeus, and we had John Mitchell. He does all the cartoon drawings and stuff, and has the coloring books out and stuff, and he kind of helped coin Zeus, I guess. So, like, my dad doesn't want to change the color of the car, I'm pretty partial to it too. It's pretty cool looking. So we're gonna stick with it, and once I get some body repairs on it, hopefully get it to be all shined up and pretty, with maybe a big old Zeus on the side of it.
That will be cool.
That'd be cool.
That will be very, very cool and a neat addition.
Well, man, look, your win was certainly cool, and thank you for coming on. And we look forward to seeing you at the track in whatever capacity, and certainly in a racing capacity, whenever that does happen.
For sure.
Best to your family, and we will see you at the races, David. Thanks again.
All right. Well, see you guys later. Thank you.
Well, it's always good in CHAOS to see a first-time winner, and it happens, well, often. It's neat in a series to routinely interact with people who have like won their first drag race ever, and they're doing it in a funny car, and they never thought they would. Like, great example, Mike Buchanan. I'm like, dude, you got to stop dreaming. It's a reality 2 times over, getting your win at Kearney and at Lufkin earlier this year. So those stories happen right here in this series, as the Wolfman, Ed Wulff, will routinely point out that, you know, any given night, as he likes to say, it can happen at CHAOS. And Ed, if you're out there, thank you for your support of CHAOS Nation.
Absolutely. Well, we've had multiple first-time event winners this year. And of course, that's, you know, one of the things that makes that possible is we have so many people racing with us for the first time. And that's just been the ongoing trend since we began. The first year, there was only 1 race, then we had 4. And then there's been 8 or 9 races per year since that time. And just people showing up and competing and finding out how much fun we're having, and that they're actually having a great time coming back and, you know, getting those combinations put together and winding up in the winner's circle. So big celebration for all of our racers, and whether they get to the winner's circle or not. And there's several that are knocking on the door that they've gotten as far as the final round, but have yet to cross the finish line on the final round first. But we know it's coming for them, and we will be equally excited when they make that happen.
David, speaking of who's racing and all those new people and the regulars, let's talk about who is going to be racing at MoKan. I've got a new image directly from Chris Graves himself to show off right after the break. Well, David, Chris sent me an email and said that this has not been released yet, so we're going to be releasing it here on the show. So far, this is what the flyer looks like. 32 plus funny cars showing up at MoKan. The last count that Chris included in that email, 38
funny
pre-entered.
Wow, that's more.
Wow.
Yeah, I have 35 from. I typically go back and count pretty often, and so I had 35. There's another one, Bob Alberti, the Thunder and Okie, would make 36. So, but 38, man, you talk about a great place to be, and that's where we're going to be next is MoKan. And we've talked about it before when we were heading to Nitro Chaos at Mo-Kan Dragway. That's just a great place to go to a race, and the fans extremely knowledgeable, and they love their racing. They've been coming out for a long time, but man, the shows that are happening at MoKan, 38 funny cars, we've had big shows there before, but it's only been a few years that the second funny car chaos race ever was at MoKan, and we had 10 cars enter for a single 8-car field. And so now it looks like we could fill 4 8-car fields, and maybe have a little left over. So This is very exciting. And of course, we get a chance to talk with the man himself from over at Mo-Kan Dragway coming up here. But just look at that. Look at the poster and see all these names that are coming in. And so many are coming, they're all coming to race, and some of them are coming to see if they can close the deal as for that top 5 finish in the Spell Paving Services Funny Car Chaos Championship Tour, because we are getting right down to it. There's MoKan, and then there's the World Finals at Ennis, and then it's done. And so, everybody's got their points tallied up. They know what they have to do. They know what they can do. And of course, we're doing our homework on that too. And we will pretty much be able to tell you when this happens, then the math does not go in their favor. And when this happens, somebody else, the math doesn't go in their favor. But we're down to the wire with 2 races left. And it's more than a two-car race. Now, it's going to have to be some things that go a certain way for it to be more than a 2-car race. But it is definitely a 2-car race, and winding up several of those people 6 through 10 with the opportunity to finish top 5. That's a real possibility for some of these hardworking funny car racers and their teams. And so they are, they're bringing it. And of course, what that translates to for our fans is you're going to see an outstanding drag race, because it's fun. It's all about having a good time, and that's really what's going on. But there's a lot of competition taking place as well. So you're going to see some people really putting it all out there to see if they can finish, to get finished as high as they can in this Spell Paving Services Championship Tour for 2022. So all that's going to bring us just an extraordinary event, coming up next weekend.
It is going to be extraordinary, and not just because of the cars. And I see on this list, you mentioned those in the championship hunt and in the points battle. We've got some coming back that we haven't seen in a while, like Ronnie Young and the Blue Max, Illinois Thunder. They're making appearances. Bill Naves and the Shooting Stars. So we're seeing some people who are familiar with Chaos that we haven't seen in a while. Some of them State Capital, some of them Lufkin, some of them actually in Nitro Chaos. So it's going to be good to have them back in the field and see them racing. But another reason why it's special is just because of, it's MoKan and the fan base there. And David, I've been able to see a lot of fan bases, from dirt tracks to drag racing, national events, to out in the middle of nowhere tracks for whatever type of event. And there is something special about the fan base there on the Kansas-Missouri border, just north of Joplin, Missouri. They love their drag racing, and it is fantastic to interact and experience such an enthusiastic crowd that just loves drag racing.
It is. And of course, 60 years of MoKan. They've got lots of experience. They've seen all the names. They've seen the big names come in and perform for them. So they know what great drag racing looks like. And so when you bring it and they go, this is my kind of show, well, they bring friends. And that's why we continue to have, full grandstands and the easy ups all the way down the racetrack on both sides, with people, setting up their chairs and their tents and bringing out their coolers and their smokers and just having a blast. And but they are truly an outstanding fan base, and it's you really show up there to have a good time, and you find other people of like mind, and you just can't help but have a great time when you come to a Funny Car Chaos event, especially at MoKan.
And speaking of MoKan, our second guest tonight, the owner, promoter, director, the guy that you call to complain to, Mr. Carl Blanton. We're going to have him on. And I don't think these guys get enough airtime. I had Gerald Kramer on my show recently, but these people in drag racing, they really keep it going. They make it available for the racer and the fan. If it wasn't for the Geralds, if it wasn't for the Carls, if it wasn't for these people, we wouldn't be doing any of this. So Carl, before we bring you on, thank you, man. Let's take a break, David.
All right.
Chaos Nation, whether you are near or far, you can finally represent Funny Car Chaos wherever you are at. TheChaosStore.com is the place to visit to get your merch from the world's only Outlaw Funny Car series. And there's even exclusive deals online, as in the 3 t-shirts you are seeing right now on your screen. But it's more than just the tees. You can get your Funny Car Chaos stickers, hats, beanies, everything else. World of Funny Car Chaos there at thechaosstore.com.
Not many race car shops can say they've been in business for 60 years, but we can. Here at S&W Race Cars, we specialize in welding and fabricating, designing and building door car, dragster, funny car, and alter chassis. We provide water jet cutting and other production services. We have several thousand roll bars and roll cages, custom tube bending, fabricated 9-inch forward housings, and rear frame kits. We run a full-service machine shop, and so much more we couldn't squeeze into a 30-second commercial. Give us a call at 1-800-523-3353 or visit our website.
And welcome to Chaos Live, Mr. Carl Blanton. Thank you for coming on, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
60 years of smoking Mo-Kan Dragway. Congratulations on that. Carl, when did your family become involved at Mo-Kan?
We took over operation of the track in 1999.
All right, so you got plenty of years, so you took over operations, but obviously you didn't just drive up and say, "Hey, there's a drag strip. I think I'll get involved with that." So take us back even before you assumed the role of running the place.
Well, we had started a newspaper for drag strips in the area. I actually lived in Tulsa, and we had started a newspaper. MoKan was one of the tracks we covered, and of course, I was up there quite a bit, and I went to manage Ozark for Bill Woods in 1998, and I was there for a few months and decided to go back and spend the full time on the newspaper. And in the winter of '99, the Wilbert family called and said they were ready to hang it up and wanted to sell the place, and basically made me an offer I couldn't refuse. So, but here we are today.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm glad they called you, because I've experienced so many firsts at MoKan, from my standpoint, and I know I'm not the only one. And we were talking about Nitro Chaos and having the chance to spend time with Big Daddy Don Garlitz, and of course, it was the same way with having Roland Leong there for that first time that we had Funny Car Chaos. And so getting a chance to, meet those folks, and because you bring them to the racetrack, that's one of the aspects of MoKan that makes it, really, really, really special. But we're coming up with this race. There's so many facets of successfully operating a business, and some are uniquely are unique to the world of drag racing, and some of them are not. What's been some of the keys to your success in your years of operating MoKan Dragway?
I don't actually know.
Yeah.
Well, it was definitely a learning curve, and I tell people all the time, it's detail intensive. We do some timing system stuff, so we deal with a lot of different racetracks, and I see guys go into a racetrack for the first year. They've been a racer, and they think they basically know how this all works, but you get a lesson real quick that there's many things you never thought of, whether it's the toilets are clogged, or the insurance payment is late, or whatever it is. There's always something you need to be thinking about that has absolutely nothing to do with racing.
Yeah, that's true. I've been reminded of that most of the time. I used to think I wanted to own a drag strip, and it didn't take me long to find out that there's a whole lot more to it than going out and watching the races and having fun. It is very intense. And there's just the number of things that you have to deal with. But you guys wind up doing it so well. You make it look effortless. And of course, that's a product of all the effort that you and your team put in. And so thanks for that, because it does not go unnoticed. So we're coming in for the Labor Day Classic. Some racetracks like to have events on holidays, and some think that's not the time to do them, but they certainly seem to be working well at Mo-Kan Dragway. So how long has it been a Labor Day Classic, and what's your philosophy on having races during holiday weekends?
Well, it doesn't work for every track, and it works for us, I think, because the Wilberts established a tradition of a Memorial Day race and a Labor Day race well over 50 years ago. I don't know where we're at, maybe 56 or 7 on the Labor Day. But they just established that tradition. I'm not sure about Labor Day, but I know for a fact that Memorial Day used to not be on a Monday. It just fell on any random day in the week. And whatever day that was, they would have a Memorial Day championship race. And so it's a very known commodity in this area that MoKan is going to be running on Labor Day weekend and Memorial Day weekend. I've seen, NHRA tried a national event at Topeka on Memorial weekend. I don't think it worked for them. I've seen other racetracks try Memorial weekend stuff, and it just doesn't work. But the two, what we call the holiday races, have always worked well for us.
Well, I'm glad they have. I remember once upon a time, seems like Kenny Bernstein was racing funny cars at, might have been State Capitol, and he had a NASCAR running at the World 600, and maybe had something running at Indianapolis, and all that on the Memorial Day weekend. So there is precedent for holiday races, but like you said, it doesn't work everywhere, doesn't work for everybody, but it surely is working at MoKan. And it's about to work again, as we're talking about 30, what'd you say, 38, 36, 38 funny cars coming in for this spectacular at MoKan, the Labor Day Weekend Classic.
I've heard, Chris told me today it was 38. So yeah, that's going to be great. I'm thinking we had about 34 last year. I don't really remember for sure, but I think we had about 34 last year. So, that's going to allow us to do an all-pro show on Friday night. We'll have funny car qualifying, we'll have Dirty South Gassers, and we'll have Jets, and that's going to take up Friday night. So I'm excited about that. I'm happy that we can advertise that as an all-pro show there on Friday night.
Yeah, that will be a spectacular. The Dirty South Gassers, Super Suckers, and Hot Rods, we haven't seen them for several races, and cannot wait to have them back, because they bring such a great show. And several of those racers are kind of local to your area, the Mo-Kan Dragway area. You've got some of those guys that come in. I don't know how often they come to your racetrack, but they certainly are native to your part of the world.
Yep, absolutely. David Tanner with the Outhouse Mouse 32 Chevrolet, always a lot of fun to watch David. John Clark from over around Wichita with the AFX Chevy 2, and Hooley Huffman, and just on and on. We do have a fair number of gassers that run with Dirty South when they come up this way, and I think they probably travel with them quite a bit too.
Yeah, they do, and they bring a fantastic show. Now, you spent a lot of time in motorsports journalism, in doing that paper, and that puts you in contact with a lot of people, and I'm sure you've got all kinds of stories. What are some of the best memories that you've got from all those years in motorsports journalism?
Well, we started the newspaper just as a track paper for Tulsa in 1990. I had no idea what I was doing. I just thought that it was something that should be done, and it was received relatively well. And I happened to be off work and thought, well, maybe I could make this my living. And I started going to other tracks and just kind of grew it from there. We really focused on a sportsman racer or whatever was going on at the tracks that we tried to cover. Eventually, we tried to bring correspondents in and expand out and cover more tracks. And one of the correspondents I hired was a really young man named Chris Graves. He told me he was 16 at the time, but I've heard rumors that he might have even been as young as 14 when he applied to work at American Drag News as a correspondent. And honestly, I had a lot of correspondents, and they kind of came and went. So, I didn't know all of them very, very well. But Chris wanted to go to nitro races, and I had nothing against that, but that wasn't, we also needed him to go to bracket races and things. So Chris was actually one of my correspondents when he was probably 14. So I've known Chris that long. And the publishing part of it, I kind of learned as I went. I learned that a small regional publication like that could probably promote events better than it could do anything else. And by the time I felt like I really had a handle on it, I had bought MoKan and didn't think I could do both, so I sold the newspaper.
All right, but you still have an interest, and you still actually do a good bit with sportsman drag racing outside of your own racetrack. Tell us about that, if you can.
But yeah, sure. That with the newspaper, we did what we call the ADN series, which was a bracket race series, and that eventually spread to maybe 15 or 20 tracks. I can't honestly remember. And after I sold the newspaper, I sold the series with it, and it was gone within a year, the newspaper and the series. So we started another bracket race series called the Central Drag Racing Association series, and we ran that for about 10 years. And I just eventually felt like, I needed to concentrate more on MoKan. So we haven't done that stuff in a while. We do still deal with a lot of racetracks because we work with Rusty Crawford at AccuTime, and I'm hoping in the very near future we're going to do a whole bunch more of that. And so we get to talk to a lot of tracks around the country. We've dealt with a lot of different tracks, and we see what they're doing. Gerald Kramer, you mentioned Gerald, another friend of mine, Al Schoenwetter, and I, we put on a track operators expo every winter, and we've had as many as probably 22 or 23 racetracks represented. And it's just good to get those track operators together and share ideas and talk about issues we have. And so those are some of the things we've done outside of the racetrack, as far as operating the track itself.
So you're providing pretty much a continuing education program for people in the racetrack business, something that certainly should be well received. And, because there are things you pick up from operating a racetrack for 24, 25 years that you don't get first time you show up at the gate and somebody comes and says, hey, the toilets are backed up. So you get all kinds of hands-on experience from people that have been doing that. That can't do anything but help generate more successful racetracks. And of course, more successful racetracks means that all of these great folks that love to run their cars have a worthy place to go and apply their trade or put their hobby in action. So thanks for doing that. Now you've got a family operation. You've got a great group of family members that are part of your team there, and I'm not sure they get enough credit. I know they get plenty of credit from some of us that see them in action, but who all in the family is part of your team there at MoKan?
Well, of course, my son Craig is we consider him currently the track manager, and he does pretty much everything. He does the graphics, he does the website, he does the flyers, he runs the events, he does the track prep, he services the timing system and the PA and absolutely anything else that goes wrong. And he's very good at it. And his wife Gina operates the computer, and a lot of the things that Craig needs help with, she'll help him too. So they're the dynamic duo there. They really keep MoKan running the way it needs to run. I tell people I sit in the tower and drink beer. That's my job. And David knows it's true. He's witnessed it. I really just give them my opinion, but they're the ones that are doing the heavy lifting. They're keeping MoKan running, and can't thank them enough. My wife is involved to some extent with the racetrack, and I always appreciate it when she can help one way or the other. My grandson is not quite old enough, but he's getting started running tech cards and doing things like that. We have Mike Hodge out on the starting line. He's not related to me, but he's probably one of the best at what he does. He's been out on the MoKan starting line for over 35 years, and you just don't find that kind of experience anywhere else. We have Jamie at the front gate, and Candy in the concession stand, and Steve and Teresa, and I'm going to leave somebody out, but we really have an outstanding crew. And as I deal with other tracks and talk to them about what's working and what's not, having really good, solid help is always a challenge for every racetrack. And we're just really blessed that we have the people we do. And I think they are 100% the reason for our success.
Well, and I wanted to give you a chance to recognize them, because they do such a great job, and you've been able to something about Carl Blanton's management style lends itself towards continuity and people wanting to come back and continue to do the outstanding job that they do. And the fans know when they come to MoKan, the racers know when they come to MoKan, the visiting people that come into work races know that when they come to MoKan, it's going to be a first-class show. And so we want to say thank you to you, and we want to make sure that your staff knows how much they are appreciated. And I know that they get that from you, but we want to make sure that they know it also from those of us that come in. So you've got a great staff, and you know what? We're really looking forward to being with you guys coming up, about 10 days. Is that what it is? About 10 days. We should be showing up there and getting ready to go. And All Pro show on a Friday night as the Labor Day Classic makes its way back into Southwest Missouri. I'm not very far from that right now, but I will be back for the race. And, but thank you so much for being the guy that Chris Graves called when he thought that maybe Funny Car Chaos was kind of a hit, and giving him some great advice and helping make this thing become what it's becoming. Thank you, Carl.
Oh, you're most welcome. It's just good people all around. You just can't. I know they often get praised on the show, but you can't say enough about what Chris and Tara have done over the last 5 years. It's completely amazing how they've created this thing. It's the best thing I've seen in drag racing in a long, long time.
Well, we are having so much fun at it, and and we want to keep that vibe going on, and we anticipate that vibe being strong as ever as we come in for the Labor Day Weekend Classic. Man, thank you for taking time out of your Wednesday night to spend some time with us and all the folks on Chaos Nation. Your time is appreciated. Your work is appreciated. We can't wait to be at your place.
Well, we can't wait to have you, and you have to comment on my 1977 Show Nationals Funny Car T-shirt.
I was waiting for David to get done. I'm like, I want to talk about the T-shirt. I mean, look at that. Yep. That is awesome. Yep. 2 beautiful funny cars, AHRA. That's where it's at.
Yeah, yep. All right. Well, thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you, Carl.
We'll see you soon.
All right.
So, David, Chris Schneider commented, and the chicken wing challenge is on between the Butcher and the Williams gang. We need the three of you to judge the winner. So apparently there's a competition eating-wise going to take place amongst 38 plus funny cars competing.
That sounds really, really good to me. I'm a chicken wing, actually.
I wonder, like, is it the amount of chicken wings, or is it, going from mild to nuclear, and how long can you make it into the hottest chicken wings? Like, what are we talking about, Schneider, here? What's going on?
I'm not sure what the rules are on this deal. If it's like a chili cook-off, except it's a chicken wing cook-off, or what exactly it is. I have a sense that that's kind of what's going on here, because there's some folks
it's a cook-off.
There we go.
Well, I can definitely help in any cook-off, consuming what's cooked, at least.
Yes. Sign me up. Thanks for the invitation, because me and chicken wings go way back, and I love them. So,
hey,
can't wait for
MoKan. Can't wait to stay in my little motel room that its own cottage there near Joplin, which is so cool. And I forget the name of the place that I'm staying at, but I'm looking forward to it, and looking forward to chicken wings now. Yes, funny cars, chicken wings, MoKan, all of it. Great place to be, for sure. So, yes, folks, I am telling you now, do what I'm doing. I am going to Indy. I will be there for Wednesday and Thursday, and then I will leave the U.S. Nationals for MoKan, which I would do anyway, mind you, whether I was on the crew or not. But then I'm able to go back on Monday to be there at the U.S. Nationals. So look, just get all of the good drag racing in. Do them both. And if you can't do one or the other, or however that works out, just do Funny Car Chaos. That's my advice for you.
I'd say that's sage advice right there. And of course, it's such a great location. It's a holiday weekend, so you've got Monday off. And so the opportunity to travel and get to MoKan for 38 funny cars. We've always had we've had big shows there before, like you said, last year. But to have this going on this Labor Day weekend, it's a week and a half. If you got plans, cancel them. But we want to see a whole bunch of Chaos Nation out there at Mo-Kan Dragway. You're going to love it. If you've never been before, it's be the time to come, as this will certainly be an extraordinary event, and it'll be even more special with you. And yes, I really do mean you at the races. So come on.
Looking forward to it, David. Before we do go, after that, because I do have the promo for it, we have one final Funny Car Chaos race for 2022. And it's going to be a little different, and it's going to be special. We're going to end it where it all began earlier this year.
They eat, sleep, and breathe horsepower. They battle from strip to strip in a quest for the finish line, chasing the ultimate satisfaction, the glory of becoming a champion. It's run what you brung, and it all comes down to this: the Funny Car Chaos and Outlaw Fuel Altered Championship Finals. Join us at the second annual Stampede of Speed, October 7th and 8th at the historic Texas Motorplex. Presented by Spell Paving, Wulff Pumps, Lone Star Forklift, Vertex Roofing, Performance Motor Coaches, Fat Tire Apparel, and the Red Line Shirt Club.
I like that Western theme to the Stampede of Speed promo there for the last race of the year. All that was needed in there is rawhide.
Need a little chink, chink, chink of walking in with your spurs on, I tell you.
Yes. But
it's going to get Western. It's going to get Western at those championship finals there. So So we're going to get through MoKan, and it's going to be outstanding. And then we will finish it up where we started. It'll be a good
sir. It is going to be a good one. Well, David, good as always to be on air with you. Look forward to seeing you at MoKan for the Funny Car Chaos race that we've got coming up. But, man, look, have a good weekend at Cordova.
Thank you. I'll do my part, and I look forward to seeing you again. So long, everybody.
Mo-Kan Dragway fans, it's time for the Labor Day Classic, and that can only mean one thing. The funny cars are back in town. Join us at Smokin' Mo-Kan Dragway Friday night and Saturday, September 2nd and 3rd for Funny Car Chaos. 200-mile-per-hour ground pounders and a battle for $35,000. Plus tire blazing gassers and more. Kids 12 and under are free, so you know what to do. Be there. Come on! Visit MoKanDragway.com for more info. This event presented by the Little Brick Inn of Baxter Springs, Spell Paving Services, Wulff Pumps, Fat Tires Apparel, and the Red Line Shirt Club.